Hey guys, I'm at the new Norcross Library. We're going to do a construction update today. Over the last 2 weeks, the contractor has poured a lot of concrete on site, and you can see the beginnings of the parking structure here. We're actually looking where the new library will sit, and then over here to the right will be the new elevated green roof plaza that sits next to this new residential development. They're getting pretty close to finishing up over next to us, and you can see the park up here as well. Some of the challenges with this site has been how tight everything is. This is really kind of an urban setting. We ended up closing the road here, Britt Avenue, in order to have a little bit of layout space to work with. But other than that, we are really sandwiched right in between Buford Highway and the park here, and then this new development next to us, which is always fun when you've got two construction projects right next to each other. We've got to play well and tie our utilities together. Let's go take a look inside the deck so you can get an idea of the scale of everything. Here we are at the corner where the elevator will be. The plaza will start just up to your right. There'll be a set of stairs that'll go up about half a flight, and you can take the elevator down to the parking deck or up to the new plaza. Over here to the right is where you'll enter the parking deck. We're walking up Britt Avenue right here. You can see we've closed the street because we need a little bit of a staging area for all the materials as they come in. So this street will be open when the library opens. There'll be a drop-off area right here that will be formed at some point. You can see here the guys are working on the concrete. Concrete's an interesting material. One of the things that we're trying to do is create this contrast with the rawness of the concrete, and then we'll have bricks sitting on top of it, and then a smooth metal panel, so that you have this transition from rough texture at the ground to smooth up in the air. And the building is really in 3 horizontal stripes. So you have this concrete base, brick middle, and the metal top. And we did that very deliberately to create this horizontal feel to the building that pulls you out into the landscape. So here we are, we're at the entry to the parking deck now. Over in the right corner is the elevator. There'll be some handicap parking spaces in front of us. Just really poured a lot of concrete over the last couple weeks. We're getting prepped for the concrete slab, and then we'll start on the beams and some of the elevated concrete deck. Just a lot of concrete and rebar. So we're over at the elevator pit now. They've got some of the rebar in and getting prepped to pour concrete there. And if you look back across the way, you can see here one of the parking aisles. To the right will be some of the handicap parking spaces. We've color-coded these columns. That should be pretty neat. We tried to liven up the parking area a little bit. You can see here some of the formwork for this concrete wall. It's just a lot of the same right here at the beginning. Pouring footings and putting in rebar, and then putting up the panels to form the concrete. And so we're going to continue to be doing this for a little while. So this side of the library, we're definitely looking south. The sun comes around in the southern hemisphere. This is going to be a lead project, so it was important that we knew where the sun was. But when shooting video, I really need to be on Buford Highway looking back, because we're always looking into the sun. But we have designed the library. It's going to be a LEED certified library under the new 4.1 system. And as we go through construction, I'll show everybody some of the lead things that we're doing, some of the strategies. Here he's raising a formwork panel up into place. This looks like this is going to be for a column. They'll stand that up and put it around this rebar over here. And what that does, they've just sprayed it down. What that does is it's simply the formwork when you pour the concrete in, so the concrete creates the column. It is a nice hot day today. We'll try to move around the project a little bit so you can catch some different views. This is really a pretty large parking structure. There are 3 drive aisles. We're in the far drive aisle here next to the residential development. Poured a lot of concrete on this side. These concrete walls that you see in front of you are actually shear walls that take up a lot of the forces. Right here is the center drive aisle. And then you can see over here along Buford Highway that they're continuing to do form work and get ready for a future pour of these walls and columns. We're now over in the corner of the parking structure right underneath the elevated deck, and you can see the new development next to us. They're getting pretty close to finishing up there, and I believe people may start living in it pretty soon, which will be neat. There's an alleyway that's formed in between the new development and our library that will have some stairs up to the park. It's really a great project to have people living here. I imagine they'll use the park and the library and just take advantage of this elevated deck right here. Right now the contractor is prepping for a slab pour. You can see a drain inlet over here, and we'll tie in some piping into that, and these rebars will tie in horizontally to some other rebar that will create the second floor elevated deck, and then over on the far side we'll create the base for the library. So that's it, guys. If you haven't liked the video, I'd appreciate you liking it. And feel free to subscribe as well to stay tuned for future videos of all our projects. We will see each of you next time. Take care. Bye.